Hey, we're here live at the White Shul, continuing Siman Reish Samach Beis. Yesterday we finished off the Mishnah Berurah. Before we begin with the Beer Halachas and start dissecting with the Oz Vehadar Mishna Berura, let's go straight to a question which we asked in the past but provide numerous answers, which is, why do we tell the Malachim who just escorted us, say Shalom? We sing Shalom Aleichem and then we say, hey, Shalom, see you later, they just came. They have a beautiful sefer, which unfortunately they don't have on the Otzar Chachma, so I can't screen share it, but it's called Kemotzli Shlau Rav. The sefer is well known when it comes to, not well known, but it's people know about it when it comes to the 5 volumes that on Chumash, when it comes to Divya and the Torah and the Yamim Tovim. But what very few people know about is that they have one on Birchas Hamazon and Zmiro Shabbos. So I'm going to share what it says over here on pages Reish Ayin Vav to Reish Ayin Ches. They provide all the sources at the end. Answer number 1, and this is this is the Yabet. He discusses over here, what do you mean, shouldn't they remain at our Suda? Right? And there's going to be more of a simcha, there's going to be more of a bracha that's going to come. Why are we sending them out so fast? So he says, Ulai Nesyair Shema Yiru Davar Sheina Hagan. We are worried, we're concerned that they might see something that's a little inappropriate, that's a little improper, that's not fitting. In order that they don't leave on their own because of the anger. So therefore, what we say instead is we say what? We say, just better you leave now than you leave later. So therefore, that's what the Yavetz comes along and says, the similar idea that's brought by the Ushpizin and the Sukkah. That's the Yavetz's answer. The Machasisa Shekel. What?
It's a little optimistic.
Yeah, that's what you call pessimistic. So the second answer that they bring is the Machasisa Shekel, which we already saw. No need to sit on it, but we're saying when you will leave, we're saying say Shalom Shalom in advance. We're saying see you later. Okay, answer number 3, the Tiferes Shlomo, the Radomsker. So he comes along and he says that these malachim were malachim that are created from our masim tovim, from our good acts that we did throughout the week. Like Chazal teach us that on every single mitzvah that we do in a proper way, we create a malach. And during the entire week, they are like a guf, a body without an neshama. And they anticipate when will Shabbos come. And then there's going to be a elevation process. They're going to be elevated in the Olamos Elyonim, in the upper worlds. And therefore, first we say Shalom Aleichem. And then afterwards we say Shalom Shalom, because right now they are going up to the place that is really proper for them. In other words, saying Shalom Shalom because they're going up to higher worlds that they were unable to tap into when they were around during the week. Deeper pshat, more Kabbalistic, more Hasidish perhaps. That is going to be answer number 3. Answer number 4 from the Sefer Sharbas Rabim. I haven't learned from the Sefer much, but I've learned a few pieces. Very interesting Sefer. They have it on the Otzar Chachma. So the Sharbas Rabim, he quotes the Shach. He says that this has to do with the Shoimrei Hayoim, the guardians of the day, transfer over a person to the people who guard us at night, the Shoim Delaila, after we recite Shema. Now, in the morning, the people who guard us at the night, they give us to the people who guard us during the day, the Shoim Hayom. Why? So that we'll always have a protection. We'll always have someone guarding us. There's going to be a Shmira. There won't be a moment without us being protected. So if that's so, the first stanzas of Shalom Aleichem are Shalom Aleichem and Boachim L'Shalom. That refers to we are greeting the angels which will come in for the next mishmar, for the next guarding period. However, the last 2 stanzas of Barchuni L'Shalom and Seitzchel L'Shalom, that is referring to the mishmar, the group that is guarding us, that is departing, that will be leaving. So according to this, we're able to say this during the week. But since during the week we're very preoccupied and busy, so therefore they enacted to say it only on Shabbos. similar idea with this answer of why we say Seisel Shalom is from the Sukkot Shavar, the Avnei Nezer. He says, we say Seisel Shalom, and this is what I said, Baal Peh, this was the answer that I remember, that Yaakov, he had two camps of angels. He had the ones who were from Eretz Yisrael, and the ones from Chutz La'aretz, the diaspora outside of Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, so too, we have weekday malachim and we have Shabbos angels as well. Shalom Aleichem is referring to the Shabbos angels, whereas Seisel Shalom is referring to the weekday angels. And he quotes the same Mishmuel, find another teretz. And then lastly, the Divrei Chaim Misan is the Sanzurov. He comes along and he says, since these angels aren't going to be eating, obviously, they're angels, the Gemara in Chagiga talks about, they don't eat or drink, so therefore, we tell them before the Suda, you're not going to eat with us, you don't need to stick around, it's not appropriate for you to stand here when we're eating, so therefore it's Seisel Mashalom. Another.
No, what about is the Gzmiros, Divrei Torah, and when the Shechina, if then they wouldn't just want to be by this table, even just because I don't know.
Honestly,
I'm not sure.
Honestly, because of that question, I was thinking that I was saying that's why this answer is what Gramps would call my grandfather, Al Shalom, he would call a doichak.
I know which answer I do.
But yeah, not to maybe the Sansa Rebbe had other kavanas behind this.
The answer I'm thinking about.
This is a 3-line quote of a piece, which I'm sure is a much bigger piece that he has. But yeah.
The answer that if you were to, let's say someone comes to a chasna and you greet him and you say, you're so happy, you came to the chasna, and he says, have a good time. But when you do, when you go, have a, you should a lot of times, let's say someone who's the Baal Simcha chasna, they don't greet someone twice, so they say, they only greet the person one time. So they say, thank you for coming, having a good time. And when you go, you give them a bracha. But maybe I think that was the second shot. What was that?
Right, yeah, that was the Machzor Shekel. That's what I was gonna say. Like when you're saying in advance, like have a nice day, right?
Have a good, enjoy
right, like
yourself now.
When you say like have a nice day to someone, and then you see them like 3 minutes later, and it's kind of awkward because you already said see ya. So it's that type of situation over here, right? Like the chassan, you say, all right, thanks for coming, and have a good night, and then
thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. And when you decide to go, you should go. You should go.
Right, exactly. That's the machasit. That's the machasit.
You're not telling the person to go. You're just telling. Oh, maybe you are telling the person. I don't know. Are you telling the person?
Now, lastly, before we close this up, the Baal HaTanya says not to say Seisel Mashalom. Also, the Sefer Zichron Yehuda, as well as the Imri Eish didn't say it, as well as the Baal Yitev Lev and the Darchi Tshuva, they all didn't say it. However, the Chassam Sofer says he wouldn't say Shalom Aleichem at all.
The whole thing.
Yeah, because why? Because similar to why we don't say that special tefillah when we exit a restroom, because we're not at the level that angels are escorting us, so to say, and that was the sheet of the Chassam Sofer. So very interesting, very interesting. If you want, whoever wants to look up the sources, this is in the Siddur Beis Yaakov, the Yabetz Siddur. And the Tiferet Shlomo is in Parshas Bamidbar. The Sharbas Rabbim is in Parshas Masay. The Shem Shmuel is in Vayikra Tafresh Ayin Aleph, second Siman Hilchos Chanukah, actually. Nothing to do with Chanukah, obviously, but in the Parsha of Chayei Sarah and the Yalkut Yosef, the Kol Mordechai Amud Yod Aleph. Those are the sources. Those are some interesting answers and discussion regarding the Seischem L'Shalom. Okay.
I know someone who says they say each three. The first 3 stanzas 3 times, and then they say the last one once. They say Tzeitzim one time.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, I've never heard of that one. Could be.
Okay. I would ask the person.
Let's take a look at the Beer Halacha. We're just going to learn this raw first without any additional official commentary, and then we're going to come back to it. Not today, though, because today's going to be, we're going to see how much of the Oz Vehadar Mishna Berura we could do, because there's a tremendous amount. There's probably actually 5 times the amount in the Oz Vehadar commentary than the Mishnah Berura itself. I would say on the siman they have a lot of length over here. But we're definitely going to come back to this Beer Halacha. There's some difficult things to understand over here. Let's take this word by word. Beer Halacha begins. Excuse me. In the room where you're eating. For sure, you need to cover all the tables that are there. Even in the other rooms, it's possible that it's fitting to cover them. So this is actually interesting because this is an anomaly. Usually, when there's a machlokes between the Shulchan and the Chafetz Chaim and his Beer Halacha, Mishnah Berura, whatever it is, usually the Beer Halacha is stringent, and the Shulchan is lenient. However, over here, if we remind ourselves of what we already learned in the Shulchan about this topic of covering tables with tablecloths, he was stringent even that tables that you're not eating on should be covered. If we take a look at the language of the Shulchan over here in Sif Beis, Kol shulchano shebabayis yemutzim b'mapois v'hamapos yel shulchanos kol hayom hamoitzi Shabbos. It's a big disgrace if the table isn't covered. Then he continues, should be on all the tables. He says, not specifically the table that you're going to be eating at. So according to the Aruch HaShulchan, in other words, all those tables have to be covered, all of them, not just the one in the dining room, whereas the Chafetz Chaim over here in the Beer Halacha is providing more of an lenient opinion based on the words of what the Eli Rabbah and the Prima Godim who quoted the Eli Rabbah said, which we already saw the Prima Godim inside as well as the Eli Rabbah inside, that it was fitting that it should be covered. In other words, nice but not necessary. Whereas according to the Aruch HaShulchan, it is necessary. So honestly, I personally I make them. I'll be honest. I'm but
the main table. I'm not going to.
But the truth is though, my opinion or what I've been doing all of these years is really irrelevant until what I'm going to be doing now. That I'm properly learning these halachas. That we're going through it together. We're not rushing it. We're going through mamish everything from beginning until end. Is my opinion going to change? Now, definitely 100% after seeing the Aruch HaShulchan, after seeing it's based on a Prima Godim, Eli Rabbah. Now there's definitely more reason to say, wait a second, I'm going to cover that table in this farm room. I'm going to cover my my standing stender in this farm room also, which sometimes I use.
Is this the reason why people have special covers for their stenders?
Yes,
Shabbos?
This is why. If you ever see stenders that are covered, this is why.
This is it, huh?
And in shuls, this is why they put a tablecloth on. They don't put a tablecloth on because for food or whatever. They're not eating there. It's special for Shabbos. It's funny. I remember once. Yeah, because of this halacha. This is the source. It's funny because I saw once over here in the basement. I noticed they were putting 2 tablecloths. So I said, 2 tablecloths. Why 2? I mean, we already learned the concept of 2, but because no, that table was the table. Well, the person setting it up told me it was a table where the kiddush is on. It always gets dirty after the kiddush. So then they remove the first covering, and then they have the second one already loaded. It's already there.
Okay,
they know what they've been doing. The shul's been operating for over 100 years. This ain't the first day on the block, right? So they know what they're doing over here. So look, now after learning this, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm talking over here. I didn't dare to say any of this, but now. So it's what to think about over here, so but that's something serious to
it says right? There's nothing it says in the about shuls or whatever.
Don't make such a deal like that. Oh, there's only in your bias but not in shuls, not in base. First of all, a base medrash is called Be'er Rabbanan in the language of the Gemara, the house of the rabbis. Second of all, for sure, in the Beis HaKnesses is more kedusha to remember Shabbos. Or no, not just the house, It's called Beis HaKnesses, the house of the gathering. Knesses literally gathering, Knessia. But anyways, Yeah. So therefore, the room that you're eating, for sure, you should cover it. It's possible you should cover it. Look, the reason why, at least at this time in my life, I'm probably not gonna cover it is because honestly, like that stender, it's an adjustable stender that I have. I have two things. I have a very large table. I mean, everyone here has been to my house and seen the table. It's the large table, and then an adjustable stender. It could go anywhere from like 4 feet to 2 feet, and I could use it sitting down. So if I'm sitting and using that stender, and there's a tablecloth on it, even if it's made for that size, a lot of times it slips off, especially how I adjust or move the stender. So it's a shtickle annoying. Now, in terms of the tablecloth on the table, look, it's just another thing to do. You know, I'm already very busy with all the kids and with everything else. And there's a lot of hachan, especially now. Shabbos starting what, like 4:30 or something, right? So there's already a tremendous amount on my plate. You know, I got 40 nails to cut. Erev Shabbos, 40 nails on Thursday. Talking 60 nails over here. There's 80 nails. You know, everything else has them up. I have my regular learning. But the question is, how long does it take to put on a tablecloth? It takes, I don't know, 1 minute.
Doing the toenails and the fingernails on the same day.
It takes 1 minute. It's not a game changer. You know, you could wake up a minute earlier. I could wake up a minute earlier, kind of. You know, it depends if I get a head start before the kids or not. If I wake up that early in the sixes, before 6:30, but you know, it's not that difficult to do. Why not just do it anyways? Perhaps. I don't know. I guess I'm giving myself answer over here. I mean, I could say whatever I want. It's a free country, right? But I don't know. The Aruch HaShulchan is pretty serious about this. Should be the entire time. It's a bizayon gadol, big disgrace to Shabbos when the table is uncovered. And it's the minhag throughout all of Klal Yisrael. This is the minhag. Aruch HaShulchan says. This is a mitzvah of this whole siman is an idea of L'kadesh Shabbos, sanctifying Shabbos via a table and clothing. And this is an extension of the table. It's a tablecloth. This is a way of honoring Shabbos. You know, so it's a mitzvah. It's something special. And maybe I will start doing it. I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know.
Start covering the
Tables in this farm room. That's
oh,
the
yeah,
only tables that we have in the house. Oh, then you have the kitchen table.
That's the thing. The kitchen is
And the
really
kitchen
using,
table.
but you know, sometimes breakfast you're in the kitchen, not in the main dining room.
The truth is, I mean, we're going to learn. We didn't see the word white mentioned. We're going to learn that there is a concept. The Piskei Chuvos will bring it of a white tablecloth. So, question is like this: after Shabbos, you're throwing in the laundry a white tablecloth, and it's a special because it's just a white load. So it's only white. It might have some stains on it. It'll come out. It's a special zachem you put in to treat it, whatever the white special stuff is called to clean it. I don't know if anyone knows. So
bleach.
yeah, one of those, something like that. So you put the special thing in, and then you're running a load just for one white tablecloth. At least now, if you're throwing in a kitchen tablecloth as well, it's farm room tablecloth. Now it makes it worthwhile, so to say. You're getting your right. I think it costs like 25 cents to run a laundry in the house with the dryer. I think with the dryer maybe 50 cents. I don't know. It's cheaper than a laundromat, that's for sure. But you know, so I don't know. Maybe we will start sending it. I don't know. My wife's gonna say if you're doing it, you gotta put it out, you gotta clean it up. So one extra thing, and then you have to make sure also before you put the tablecloth up, everything is cleared from every single table that you're putting it on, which is also another. I got my clock on the table. Right, I got sometimes farm on the table. You got to pick it up. You got to pot. Now, usually it's pretty clean, my table. Right now, I have a stack of around 8 farm that we're doing just for the sugya. I looked over certain things on Shabbos. What are we going to be looking at? Whatever, mentally preparing in advance. So that's not on this farm room. I have extra space on the shelf for that. But you know, you got to know your situation. But anyways, okay. Next Beer Halacha. Now this is a very interesting Beer Halacha, and we're gonna dissect this Beer Halacha and discuss it more. Levishas beged loven b'Shabbos. What about wearing white clothing on Shabbos? Here it is. You want a source for wearing white. So the shaila isn't should you wear white, it's maybe you shouldn't wear white,
Interesting, 'cause
which is
most people are
interesting.
opposite.
You wouldn't have thought that. If you're concerned about religious arrogance, you shouldn't wear the white clothing. What on earth is this talking about? We have no clue. Beer Halacha doesn't say. The Eli Rabba brings a proof in the Gemara in Shabbos Kuf Mem Zayin Amar Aleph. The Rabbanan love shu glime may. The rabbis wore black clothing b'Shabbos on Shabbos Ayin Sham. Yes, do whatever you want. You're not in front of a lot of people, but the shaila is wearing white. So the question on this Beer Halacha is, what on earth is going on over
What do you
here?
mean by do whatever you want?
He says, do whatever you could wear the white. In other words, do whatever you want, meaning you could wear the white. The obvious question is, what's with the anti-white movement? Lamaisa, we know that in orthodox circles, as we know, everyone's wearing the white shirt. So let's learn the Beer Halacha now, that it's talking about everything that you wear is white.
No, it's talking about wearing.
White suit, everything.
That is already,
That's already something else. Right? That's already Mechsi Kiyuhur. Now, if you're in Svas, all right, that's something else. But we're not in Svas, all right? So they do that more in Israel. They have those special white pants. You know what I'm talking about, right?
the white pants, yeah, because they wear white, like a white shirt and white pants, no suit jacket or tie. They just wear white.
Right. So
Seems to be an Indian.
So let's learn it like that. Now, why would a person want to wear white on Shabbos, all white? All right, we know Yom Kippur, white malachim. Maybe there's something like that on Shabbos. So we're gonna have to keep that in the back of our minds and come back to that idea.
The some Hasidim were white. They wear white kippahs on Yom Kippur.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cute idea. We're talking about fully white. There's a tshuva that is written, if I'm not mistaken, it's just on this Beer Halacha. He talks about a little lavush on Shabbos. This is a place to talk about dress code on Shabbos. That's what we're doing over here, lavush. So we're gonna come back to that Indian of the white clothing. There's a whole tshuva. I didn't look up if they have it on the Otzer yet or not, but either way we'll learn it. And so that's the story. Okay, let's start dissecting now the Oz Vehadar Mishna Berura and start seeing some of their points that they make. All right. So let's start with the first page. First page over here. We're going to focus on the first Sif Katan. There's nothing that's a monumental Kiddush over here. It's like, whoa, like that's an amazing idea. But nevertheless, it's just there's a few interesting ha'aros. Good, just like quick pointers, quick points over here. The Torah learns out this concept that a person needs to set his table. This is what they say in the Gemara from the Gemara in Shabbos, which we already saw 4 times, so we're not going to see it again. With the angels escorting you home from shul and giving the bracha. So the Torah, the way that they're explaining the Torah is that the Torah learns from that Gemara in the middle of the Agadata in Masechah Shabbos over there. That's how we know that is the source that we need to set the table. The next paragraph over here talks about an interesting point, which we don't need to go into, but everyone should feel free to go through on their own time, which is that when we learned in Hilchos Kiddush about bringing the table in versus having a table there and covering the table, covering the challah, so it's kind of cross-referencing that idea. In Zion, we already learned that yesterday. That was at the end of Zion. That was at the end of the Shari Tshuva, who said that you could start setting the table from the beginning of the day. It does not have to be Plag Amincha. That was an important point. In the beginning of Zion, the Torah's Chaim says the idea of cleaning spider webs is really symbolic of just sweeping your whole house in general, sweeping and mopping. So, if you think about that, right, it says in the Mishnah in the second parakavos, Marba nechasim, marba daiga. The more property a person has, basically, the more worry, and that is the bigger the house, the more there is to clean. I'll tell you that firsthand. The more lawn there is to mow, or pay someone, you have to pay him more because you have a bigger lot. So that's the idea over here. The ikra avoda, a person has to sometimes make a game time decision as to, look, I've got 10 minutes. What could I do in these 10 minutes? I could either sweep the whole house or I could put extra tablecloths on. The answer is sweep the house before Shabbos. If you want to do tablecloths, you could always put them on Shabbos. So, also. So, sweeping the house comes first. This is a time actually to point out as a way of a tangential idea, which is, now that these Shabbosim are starting much earlier, and a lot of people, I think more than half of, I think more than like 50%. So like if there's like Lamashal 100 Jewish families, I think more than 50 of those families, even with kids or especially with kids, both parents are working. I think nowadays it seems like there was a big type of I guess social isn't the right word, there's another word, cultural switch of now women starting to work more. Right now, they might not have as long hours on average, but nevertheless, right, there's limited time, especially on these short Shabbos, and especially the cooking Shabbos. So, especially all of the preparations of Shabbos, with the cooking, with watching all of the kids at the same time, with trying to clean a house. This is talking about a house that doesn't have a housekeeper. Now, I would say most orthodox houses would have some sort of cleaning help. I would assume. We personally don't. Right? We don't have anyone that comes. So everything that we do is by ourselves. But so therefore a person has to make a cheshbon of what to do with the limited time. And the sweeping would take priority. That's the point that I'm trying to make out over here. That time shesarich lios. We're gonna now pick it up the top left, middle of Oz Ches. That time shesarich lios ora kol Shabbos. The reason why you have to have the table set those Shabbos is because it's an honor of Shabbos, and that is the repetitive theme which keeps coming up. Another reason, which is an interesting idea, is to remember, look guys, it's Shabbos, don't desecrate it. So that's something as well. I brought up this point yesterday to my wife about how the Mishnah Berura said, quoted the Zohar not to have machlokes. Then later on, he brings from the Chai Adam that if a woman's running late, light the candles and don't worry about machlokes. She said, "Never light my candles." she was pretty serious about that one. So I know she doesn't watch this, so I won't get in trouble. But I was trying to say, Mom, this is interesting. What's she's saying? I don't want to talk about it. But anyways, that was
rough territory.
Yeah, rough territory. But the truth is, I was thinking about it. That Mishnah Berura, who was saying that light without it, that's talking about if she's lighting after Shkia, right? We light 18 minutes before Shkia, so really, it's not applicable. It really doesn't happen ever. So that's something else to keep in mind about that Mishnah Berura. One shouldn't get confused. That, I heard in a shir that you should light if your woman's 2 minutes late for lighting. No, that's not what it is. You have 18 minutes. So that is also something to keep in mind. Okay. Let's take a look at Yod Aleph. Let's take a look at Yod Aleph now. On the next page. These are like the highlights, so to say. Yod Aleph is talking about this idea of.
So where does 18 minutes come from?
Okay, that's a siman Reish Samach Aleph Shaila. Excellent question that pertains to siman Reish Samach Aleph. Excellent question. Yod Aleph. Kloimar. Hakavod. Yeah, that's a classic David question and a classic me answer. You can't get more classic than that. Okay, Yod Aleph. Kloimar Hakavod l'Shabbos huma she'oruch es hashulchan erev Shabbos kedei shebabo meisaketz yimscha kol aruch u'mesudur. What is considered honoring Shabbos? When you come home from shul, everything is done. You're totally ready to go. You don't need to start finagling, patching around with setting things up. Every single thing is there. So let's just make an oral checklist, and then everyone should actually write this down. I think actually it would be helpful. Challah board, challah knife, challah cover, salt, kiddush cup, yayin should be there before, challah should be there. Plates, silverware, napkins if used, tablecloth. That's basically a checklist. The chairs are in order. Everything is swept.
Wait, hold on. You said college should be there before?
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't see that. Where do we say that?
What?
Yes.
Where do we just said
That's
that?
what I mean, set.
Oh, set. Oh, fully set. Got it.
Yeah, fully set. Now that we're talking about that, this is really a Reish Ayin Daled Shaila, which is, I had this Shaila years ago when I was living at home before I was married. My mom likes keeping the challah toasty.
Right, so they want to
She likes keeping it warm before. So it's in the oven
So that's the Chavod
with
Shabbos.
the Shabbos mode. That's Kavod Shabbos. But hold
Right.
on. I'm not done. Let me ask the Shaila.
Okay, okay.
I'm asking the Shaila. I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to give everyone a turn to answer. It's in the oven. It's heating up. But now the Shaila is, do you need to bring it there before Kiddush? That's my Shaila.
Before Kiddush, yeah,
Before
but
Kiddush.
not when you come home.
So you need to put it there before Kiddush, or could you leave it in there like my mom wanted to do and bring it in after Kiddush so it maximizes how hot it
Yeah,
was?
I think it should be there for Kiddush.
Yeah, well, where are you coming from? What's your proof?
The Lechem Mishnah on the table for Kiddush is
Oh, very cute idea. So you already have Lechem Mishnah there, and then you do a swap.
Switcheroo.
Switcheroo hachu.
it's switcheroo. Which switcheroo? What do you
Wash
mean?
anyway, you could, you have that time anyway. It's set, the towel is there,
Yeah.
and then, when everybody's going to wash, it's not like it's not
Okay.
ready.
So in a house where everyone's leaving the dining room to wash, they're not bringing a washing cup and a bowl there like the Chavetz Chaim, or they don't have a built-in sink in their dining room. Okay, they're leaving anyways. So then, whenever other people are washing, someone brings it before he or she washes, so it's not a hefzik l'chachila, brings it in and then switches it. David, you agree?
No, we just said switching it. No, I think you should have having it on the table for Kiddush.
Okay, so you just feel like it's wrong if the challah that you're not gonna cut isn't there before Kiddush. You just feel that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So I asked
Didn't
this
we
Shaila
learn
many
about
years
having
ago.
You have any
Yossi,
pants?
he said it was fine. I didn't ask him for proofs or anything, but I think it's a
Didn't we
good
learn it
Shaila.
together? Didn't we learn it
Nevertheless.
together about having your hand on the challah or something when you're making Kiddush or something? Is this something like that?
No, you don't touch the challah during Kiddush. That was if you're making Kiddush on the challah. Here you're not doing that. But
I
so
know. I think I learned. I sometimes listen to Zeb Smith. He was talking about using the challah as a bench as a stender. Some people put the bencher on the challah, and then it's a shiloh about putting the bencher on the challah when you're making
interesting.
Kiddush.
Interesting. I never
Yes,
saw
sir.
that Shaila brought down. Interesting Shaila though. What would be the problem? Because you shouldn't like use food and benefit from bread that way, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it says also Adam called Sracha, but pass, I think it says, and if you're gonna eat it after, then it's fine. Interesting. But nevertheless, I think it's an interesting Shaila to keep in mind, at least. I'll tell you, for me personally, we're gonna make sure that the challah is there before. So all that should be there. And additionally, not just having the challah there before, but if you get it from a bakery, make sure it's the challah that you're gonna use is already out of the bag
Uh-huh.
and untied. So you don't need
Right,
to
so
do
you
that
do that.
after you wash,
Right,
which
yeah,
is
yeah,
definitely a hefsek
and-
l'chachila.
Right.
And also, you're supposed to go straight from Kiddush. You're supposed to go wash, like we learned in Hilchos Kiddush already. So,
Why-
that's something to consider as well. So, all right. So, Mirza Hashem, tomorrow we'll be mamshech with these choshev halachas. Everyone should have a wonderful day. Brochim to you. Yeah.
Right. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Yep.